Hey soldiers, a lot of you in the comments have wondered what is up with Sam Bankman-Fried's parents. Many of you speculate that they could be involved in this entire scheme. We do know that the father worked for FTX for some period of time. We also know that there was some pretty expensive high post real estate that both parents were signatories to down there in the Bahamas. So the father, Joseph Bankman, he's got to have some intel here that the feds are looking at him based on this latest move that he's made. The father of FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried has retained a New York attorney in recent weeks, a source familiar with the matter told Reuters, as prosecutors probe Bankman-Fried's alleged cryptocurrency fraud scheme. Joseph Bankman, a tax law professor at Stanford Law School, has tapped Sean Hecker of Kaplan, Hecker and Fink, LLP, the source said. Now, a lot of you have speculated and opined, and it's a good set of questions. Why aren't they giving their son better advice? Because even today, he's out. Sam Bankman-Fried is out in a blog post talking about he didn't steal anything and he didn't stash anything. And we've already seen how there were millions of dollars that were just miraculously uncovered that were held in Robinhood shares. John J. Ray requested that those shares be liquidated to help make, be seized and liquidated to help make these FTX investors and debtors whole. And look, when we talk about the debtors, okay, remember, there are restaurants and hotels down in the Bahamas and elsewhere who extended services to these guys, all right? They didn't invest in them. They just did what they do with any corporate account and said, hey, okay, you're in here. You want to run a tab? Fine. Company I worked for ran tabs at several places, paid them off every 30 days. So Sam Bankman-Fried is saying he didn't stash money. He's still out there talking in this blog post, but yet he didn't volunteer that there were Robinhood shares in the tune of millions and millions of dollars. And then he came out and said about that, hey, what are you guys doing? Don't seize that. I was thinking about using that for my legal defense fund. All right. So dad is sweating here. This is pure 100% unadulterated speculation. I think that a plea agreement was offered to Sam Bankman-Fried. I've said this before, on the condition that they would not go after his parents if he did plead. He hasn't pleaded guilty. He pled not guilty. And so they're coming after dad at least. We'll see what mom does. The law firm of Sean Hecker, of the law firm of Kaplan, Hecker, and Fink, focuses on white-collar crime. Previously, they represented a former top foreign exchange trader at Barclays, accused of an alleged multi-billion-dollar fraud scheme. In a rare move, a federal judge tossed out that case immediately after prosecutors presented it. This might be one badass law firm. Because if those were federal charges, it's tough to beat the feds. If you got the right attorney and are willing and able to spend the money, you can, have a fighting chance. Bankman had closely advised his son ever since Bankman-Fried launched his hedge fund, Alameda Research, in 2017, according to 3 former FTX executives. In his later consulting work for FTX, Bankman, the father, helped arrange meetings in Washington for his son, the sources said. Bankman is cooperating with prosecutors, the source said, without elaborating. Now, isn't that interesting? He's cooperating with prosecutors, yet his son is facing federal charges. This is interesting. Reuters, I know the pronunciation police are out there. They're looking for me. I almost gave away my location. Reuters could not determine what information, if any, Bankman had given prosecutors. A spokesman for Bankman, the father, declined to comment for this article. The father could not be reached for comment by phone and email. Oh, Dad's smart. Dad's saying, I'm not saying anything. You're not going to get me to print anything. You're not going to get me to talk to you on the phone, on the internet. Nothing. Imagine the tension that must exist in that house right now. I would not want to be, living under that roof with the three of them right now. While it is unclear if prosecutors view Joseph Bankman as having any personal liability in the alleged fraud scheme, the scrutiny of the case highlights that the net of individuals caught up in the FTX scandal is wide. And remember, you've got Caroline Ellison and Gary Wang. Now, some people are saying his name is pronounced Wong. I talked to my good buddy who is she's born and partially raised in China, is a native speaker. She's saying that there is a little nuance there, but to say Wang is not, out of bounds. Okay. So we all know who we're talking about, right? So those two, they are fully cooperating with the feds. And if Sam Bankman-Fried was down there working, they've got to be asking questions. The feds, that is, Damian Williams and his task force have got to be asking questions about Joseph Bankman's role in all of this. Spokesperson for the Department of Justice declined to comment about Joseph Bankman. Both of Bankman-Fried's parents, as well as senior executives of the failed crypto exchange, purchased properties in the Bahamas over the last 2 years. Now, this has been widely and previously reported. At the time, a spokesman for the two said only that they had been trying to return the property to FTX. Yeah, you started trying to return it to FTX once all of this news broke about the scandal. But you were probably down there living it up in those properties without a care in the world before the world knew what was going on. And come on, guys, look, we might have been born yesterday, but we stayed up all night, right? There's no way that you can have an attorney, a tax attorney at that. This guy's used to looking at facts, figures, data, numbers. He's down there dealing with this company, and he never suspected anything. He thought everything was on the up and up. I find that difficult to believe. Bankman's spokesperson declined to comment when asked about the status of those properties. Now, you might recall also, there had been reporting that both parents were under intense scrutiny with regard to this whole thing. So the mom, again, she could have some culpability I guess it's not funny if you're them, but they're making the case that, hey, look, we need this security at the house because things are getting goofy. And, I would have to agree they are. Sam Bankman-Fried, in that blog post, he was talking about how a stalker or some, insane individual tried to conduct a citizen's arrest on him at his parents' house. Now, Sam Bankman-Fried's already been arrested. He's already been to his bail hearing, and he made bail. Apparently, he's complying by the terms of the bail. So this nut who tried to conduct a citizen's arrest, maybe this is happening in California, so maybe he's trying to get a movie contract or something. Sam Bankman-Fried has been charged with 8 counts of fraud and conspiracy for using FTX customer funds as a personal piggy bank with his hedge fund Alameda Research. We all know that. Now, just this week, security guards at his mother and father's home, where he is on house arrest, they stopped an unknown person seeking to enter his parents' home in Palo Alto, California. The FTX founder told the outlet, "People are claiming to want to come here and make a citizen's arrest. I don't get it. I've already been arrested." Yeah, he probably wanted to do a little bit more than arrest you, Sam. Maybe this individual lost some money with you. And when people lose money and they can identify the person behind that loss, they tend to get a little angry. All right, the police out there, they're saying there are no arrest records associated with the address dating back to the time he moved there. Palo Alto police records say they don't have anything for the date that he says this occurred, which was January 6th. They may not have reported the incident. Last December, a federal judge ordered Bankman Fried, who often goes by SBF, to be released on bail while he awaits trial. So he's sitting at home with the ankle bracelet on, ankle monitor on, and, trying to figure a way out of this pickle that he's in. This is also kind of hilarious. It's a well-known fact that SBF is a vegan. Is he really? It's kind of portly to be a vegan, but maybe he just started recently. Anyway, he told the publication that he had to avoid certain prison meals when he was down there in the Bahamas because of his dietary restrictions. He had to, quote, see how far a jar of peanut butter could get me, unquote, which apparently included quite a few peanut butter sandwiches. So poor Sam, he had to eat peanut butter while he was in the Fox Hill prison. Well, once October comes along, maybe this guy will finally shut his mouth when he is shut down. Hopefully they'll convict him because as more and more comes out, becomes more and more evident that he's just not a nice guy. Ran around with this persona of effective altruism. Okay, he was going to be the savior of the world and donate to all these causes. In fact, he was just amassing power and money to live a lavish lifestyle. It just was as simple as that. And he cloaked himself in a dirty t-shirt and mussed up hair, some funky shorts and old tennis shoes, and drove a Corolla to try to perpetuate this whole this whole charade. So that's what we got going on today. Sam Bankman-Fried's parents are feeling the heat. And if they have been involved in this, then they should be feeling the heat. Check out their lavish Bahamas real estate. Isn't that nice? Now look, if you want to get some of that Bahamas real estate legitimately, then what you may want to do is watch this video. We're talking about 3 side hustles that'll pay $350 a day. At least. Some of these may turn into full-time gigs. Who knows? Take a look at the video. There's one bonus in there as well. Guys, I'll talk to you soon.